Okay, namaste. We're going to work on hamstrings today, which is fun. Starting at the back of the mat. So first we're just going to get our Tadasana, our mountain pose, really correct. So rather than having the feet open wide or having them super turned in, we're going to take the feet hips width distance apart, so in alignment with your hip bones. Yeah, really good. And then slightly the toes turn in, just so that you notice that the outside edges of your feet are parallel. Now, some of us really hang out in the knee joint and really straighten the knees, lock the knees out. We want to have a little slight bend in the knees, just a little give, you know? Cool. And then take your hands, the left hand in front of your pelvis and the right hand on your sacrum and your low back. And just take the hand on your low back and just draw the tailbone down. Yeah. So it's just this downward movement and a lift of the low belly. So you can take your left hand and lift the low belly a little bit. Good. And then try to lengthen up through the spine from there. So just getting really, really long, but try not to lean back, right? So really tall. And then place the hands, palms forward. Soften the shoulders out of the ears. Good. Imagine as if there were a thread attached to the crown of your head, just drawing you up as you root down into the feet. You might even lift the toes up off of the earth, spread the toes wide, and root back down. Just feel all four corners of your feet on the earth. Close the eyes. And as you close the eyes, the tendency, once we get all that alignment, is to get a little robotic, and then just try to bring in a little fluidity and softness. Soften the jaw, soften the eyes. And start to drop into the breath. Feel a steady flow of breath flow in and out of the nose. Drawing the breath all the way down deep into the belly. Calming the central nervous system so that we can drop into our practice. And just like a light switch, turning on that Ujjayi pranayama. Our Ujjayi pranayama is when we constrict the base of the throat so the breath becomes audible like a whisper sound. Also might sound like how Darth Vader would breathe. Inhale, bring the hands to heart center, to prayer position. Bow the chin slightly, just invoking our practice by inviting in any intention. And then gently blink the eyes open. Inhale, sweep the arms up over the head, reach up to the sky. Try to keep the front ribs drawing down towards the pelvis. Soften the shoulders out of the ears and wrap the triceps forward. Yeah, so rather than the elbows out, try to bring the elbows forward. Yeah, and you'll feel the upper back widen. Take an inhale here to reach up. Exhale, bend the knees as you fold forward. Bend the knees quite generously. And as you get all the way into that forward fold, just let the head hang. And you want to bend the knees enough so that you feel the belly, maybe even the rib cage and chest, just rest on the thighs. And then clasp opposite elbows and allow the head to just drip, drop down towards the earth. You might sway a little bit side to side. Feeling what it's like to have the head below the heart. And continuing to drop into that rhythmic, self-soothing breath. If it's okay, you might even bounce a little bit up and down. And here, yeah, we're getting into the hamstrings a little bit, but you want to bend the knees enough so that you're really just decompressing the spine from the low back all the way up to the cervical spine, releasing any tension there. You might shake the head out, yes and no. Whatever you got to do in your body to find that release. Yeah. Yeah, really good. Now from here, keep the knees nice and bent. Release the elbows so the arms are dangling like empty sleeves. And then lift the navel in and up towards the spine. Let the head hang as you roll up one vertebrae at a time, stacking one after the next. The head's the very, very last thing to rise. And then once you get to the top, rolling the shoulders up towards the ears, drawing them back towards the back of the space, and then down. Again, inhale up, back, and down. One more time. Inhale up, back, and down. Take the feet together, the toes together, the heels slightly apart. Good. And then bring the hands to the hips. Turn the right toes out and pop the heel up so you're on the ball of the right foot. So yeah, exactly. Place your weight into your left leg. Really good. Root down. And then reach down and grab that right ankle with your right hand. And then place the sole of the right foot inside the thigh. Does that work? Good. If you can't quite get the foot to the inner thigh, just take it to the inner shin. That's just as well. And then press the sole of the foot into the thigh, thigh into the sole of the foot. Place the hands, palms together in front of the heart. And just helping us focus in on the present moment. And if you notice that when you start to balance, the breath stops flowing, then just bring the awareness back to the breath and keep it going. Inhale, reach the arms up, growing those branches. Inner shoulder soften down. Taking that same posture from Tadasana and placing it here, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands back to your heart. And then slide that right leg down the left. Place your hands back on your hips for the second side. Turn the left toes out, pop the heel up. Yeah, so you might even feel a little stretch in the toes. And then from here, lift that left knee, reach down, grab the ankle, place the sole of the foot in the inner thigh. And then press the sole of the foot into the inner thigh and the thigh into the sole of the foot, and place the hands, palms together in front of the heart. Settling your gaze on a point in front of you that's not moving. So you can bring all of your attention and awareness, your focus to that point, and breathe. Feeling that oscillation to all four corners of that standing leg foot. Inhale, reach the arms up. Maybe challenging yourself and lifting the gaze up to the wall in front of you or the ceiling. So good. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands back to your heart. And slide that foot down the leg. You can shake it out a little bit. Good. Toes together, heels slightly apart, encouraging the inner thighs to spiral towards the back wall. Tailbone draws down. Again, a little give in the knees, so we're not locking the knees out. Grow tall up through the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward over the hips, fold and bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins, draw the heart forward. And exhale, fold. From here, try to keep the heels rooted down as long as you can. And then walk your hands out slowly in a downward facing dog. Remember, you can bend your knees as much as you need to get the hands on the ground. Once you make your way to downward facing dog, take the feet a little wider than your hips, so a little wider down dog. Push down and forward into the hands to lift the hips up and back. You might pedal the feet out a little bit. I even actually encourage that just to get into the calves a little bit. So bending one knee and then the other. You might bend both knees one a little deeper than the other. Just easing into the calves, the backs of the legs. And then once you feel like you're a little more open, try to draw the tops of the thighs way up and back. As you do that, press the heel bones towards the earth. Push down and forward into the hands, lengthening the hips away from the wrists. This looks really good. And then go ahead, take both feet together at the back of your mat. And then inhale the right leg up and back. The left heel plugs down towards the earth. And keep that right hip nice and square. So again, just getting a little touch into the back of that left leg. Take an inhale. And exhale, shift forward to plank. Draw the knee up and in towards the nose as you step through to the top of the mat. Really good. So this might be a nice time to use your blocks. So if you're a little more flexible, you might not need blocks. If you are a little more stable, then blocks might be helpful here. So either coming up under the fingertips or blocks, firm up the back thigh, press the hips down to the earth, and lift the heart up. Inhale. As you exhale, start to straighten your front leg out and lay the chest over the thigh to your own degree. Yeah, and that front knee can be bent as much as you need to, just to get a little touch into the hamstring. Inhale, rebend the front knee, hips down towards the earth, heart lifts. Exhale, straighten chest over the thigh. One more time. Inhale, bend that front knee, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten chest over the thigh. Go ahead, rebend the front knee, lower down onto the back knee, and untuck the toe. And then straighten out that front leg and flex the right toes towards your face. Good. So this might be a good time to put the blocks up to the highest height, because this is a really intense stretch on the hamstring. Really good. So drawing the outer right thigh back, hugging it in. Inhale, pull the heart forward. And from there, exhale, fold into your own degree. And then just breathe. Really good. Being happy with wherever you're at. Nice, deep ujjayi breaths. Just telling the body to soften and relax. Just about 2 more deep breaths. Go ahead and rebend that front knee. Tuck the back toe and lift the knee up. Plant the hands down. And then step all the way back into downward facing dog. And again, you might pedal the feet out a little bit. Notice the difference between that right and left leg. And then take the feet together at the back of your mat. Inhale, the left foot lifts up and back, flexing all 5 of the left toes towards the earth. Right heel plugs down, once again pushing down and forward into the hands. Really good, you guys. Inhale. As you exhale, shift forward to plank, knee up towards the nose as you step it to the top of the mat. Really good. And if you need to use your left hand and help bring that leg up to the top of the mat, do that. Climb up onto the fingertips or onto the blocks. Inhale, press the hips down, draw the heart forward. Exhale, straighten the front leg out, chest over the thigh. Again, inhale, rebend, lift the heart. Exhale, chest over the thigh. Just bringing a little bit of fluidity into those hips. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten that leg, chest over the thigh. Nice deep breaths here. Good. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, rebend that front knee and lower down onto the back knee. Good. Untuck the toe and then straighten the front leg out. You might have to place the heel a bit further forward. So from here, inhale, draw the heart forward, and exhale, fold into your own degree. Take 3 more deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Every exhale, an opportunity to let go a little more. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and rebend that front knee. Tuck the back toe, lift the knee up, coming into a lunge. Plant the hands down on the ground, and then step back. Once again, downward facing dog. Yeah, you can have your hands on the blocks and then maybe place the hands back down onto the ground once you're in down dog. Yeah. Go ahead and lower down onto the hands and knees, cross at the ankles, and come down onto your bottom, stretching the legs out in front of you. Good. So you might want to take the thighs and roll the inner thighs towards the earth. Flex the toes towards your face. If you find that it's hard for you to even sit like this, bend your knees a little bit and place your hands by the sides of your hips. Good. Yeah, bend your knees even a little bit more. Yeah, lengthen up through the spine. Good. So you have 2 options. You can either bend the knees, or you can come up onto a block or a blanket or a towel, something to give the hips a little more height so it's easier to sit tall. So whatever option works best for you. Let's start with bent knees. Grab the backs of the knees, inhale, lift the heart, and then as you exhale, from the hip crease, fold into your own degree. It might be really slight, and just be with that. And then from there, we're just working in. What we don't want to do is fold in from our back. That just causes pressure in our low back. We don't want to do that. So folding at the hip crease. And then from there, if you have any more space as we breathe here a little longer, you might grab the outside edges of the feet. And from there, you might start to walk the heels forward a little bit. Yeah, really good. And this just starts to unwind all that tension in the low back. Also gets us a little touch into the hamstrings. But if the knees are really bent, we might not feel it in the hamstrings, and that's okay too. One more deep inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs out as you lift up. Good. And then from here, take the soles of the feet together and the knees apart, coming into Baddha Konasana. Grab the underside of the feet. Inhale, lift and lengthen up through the spine. And exhale, fold in. You can press the elbows down into the inner thighs and draw the heart forward, lengthening through the spine. Inhale, rise, and then come into a comfortable seated position, just a cross-legged seat. And so from here, now that our legs are nice and open, we're going to take the hands, palms face up in a gesture of openness and receiving, connecting the thumb and index finger, coming into Gyan Mudra, and then lengthen up through the spine. Let the elbows hang underneath the shoulders to encourage the shoulders to soften, and close the eyes. And just allow yourself to observe the internal workings of the mind, of the breath. Allowing ourselves to soften, come into stillness. Get quiet. You can stay in this seated meditation from anywhere for 2 to 20 minutes, whatever best suits you and the time that you have. When you're ready, bring the hands to heart center, bow the chin, just honoring your practice, going back to your intention, and allowing your practice to come with you off your mat and into your world. Thank you. Namaste.